Welcome back to Super Talk Outdoors. I really enjoyed that conversation with Bo Prestige as he talks about this really important event coming on up about Catch a Dream. And I look forward to having Marty Bronson on the show to talk more about that. What a great effort. And anyone who's been involved in that, that's volunteered their time, that's taken a kid fishing or hunting, they're hooked by the process and they understand what giving those kids that experience means. So to have a national event at Bo's clay shooting facility is quite an important thing. So I appreciate him doing that and also sharing the conversation or his efforts with us. So now I want to shift gears and move over to my friend Ricky Flynt, who's the project management supervisor for the Mississippi Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund, something we've really pushed hard over last, you go back 3 or 4 years now. We've been focused on this. Took 2 years to get through the legislature. The governor signed it into law. We formed a Outdoor Stewardship Trust Board, and lots of good stuff has gone. We're actually winding up year 2 of funding, and we're looking to the legislature as we speak for more funding. Hopefully one day we can get continued funding, some funding that just is built into the system, and we don't have to get back to the legislature every year to get the funding again. But we're going to remind you about what all this is about. But without any further ado, let me welcome my friend Ricky Flynt back to Super Talk Outdoors. How you doing, Ricky?
Hey, it's great to be here. Great to be talking about the progress of this program. We're off and running.
Hey, Ricky, real quick, curious, you spent a lifetime, it seems, in the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, most recently before you came into this role as head of the alligator program. I've really enjoyed over the past over 2 years having the opportunity to celebrate the employees of that department. But, ma'am, we're lucky to have such an incredible team of professionals focused on Mississippi's outdoors, aren't we?
We are. The technical staff that occupies the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks is top notch. They have had a history of producing some of the best science out there that many other states look to, that our programs become a model for other places to utilize. And that's nothing to shake your head at. That's good progress.
And one of those programs was the alligator program that you had. Your fingerprints are all over that program. And yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you had a lot of fun doing that too, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely. It was one of those things that when I first got into it, I didn't realize then how great it was going to be and how much fun it would be for me, dealing with a species that I didn't have a whole lot of experience with, but found out, in my opinion, the absolute most amazing wildlife species in North America. And then that just prospered my passion to do things with them, to learn more. And other states have gleaned from some of that from Mississippi. Other states have modeled their alligator hunting season opportunities. Alabama and Arkansas, and now South Carolina is looking at it. I think even North Carolina is considering it. And I've been in communication with them for many years. Hey, how did you do this? Why did you do this? The tagging program, what did you learn from that? And lots of great things coming from it.
Turkeys, ducks, deer. I mean, the quality wildlife management, a quality deer management effort was born in Mississippi. You think about a good history of directors, more recently William McKinley and the work that he's doing. Then you look at what the great work that's being done up at Mississippi State. I mean, it's incredible what Bronson Strickland and Steve Damaris is up to. But we're trailblazers in Mississippi in so many different ways, and it's great that you had an opportunity to be involved in that group. That's probably one of the reasons why the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund is so important to you, isn't it?
Absolutely. This opportunity came to me, and while I was apprehensive about leaving something that I was very comfortable with and very passionate about, I saw it as an opportunity to paint a wider swath across the state of Mississippi and efforts to do more wildlife fisheries conservation projects have more effect on the entire state of Mississippi. And that's what I'm experiencing now, being able to see the number of project proposals that are coming across from all corners of the state. Some of them in wildlife conservation, some of them in fisheries conservation. Some of that is nature-based outdoor recreation projects. It's not just hunting and fishing. It's for all communities in the state. Everyone in the state who has an interest in spending some time outdoors can benefit from what the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund is doing. And we have to be able to thank the Mississippi legislature and the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Coalition, who worked for many years birthing this idea and getting support of the legislature to fund this program.
Initially, we had $10 million. This year, we have $15 million money going to state agencies, municipalities, non-governmental organizations on public or private land. Private land is important because 90% of the land in Mississippi is private land. And if we don't focus on that, habitat enhancement and things like that, we're not going to really impact the true outdoor stewardship the way that we want to. Real quick, the members of the board are Van Ray. He's the chairman of the board of trustees. He's from Bank of Yazoo. Denny Terrell's the vice chairman. He's with Ivy Mechanical Company. Colin Maloney is from Century Construction. David Holman from Ranchland Equipment. Drew St. John, Robert St. John, the great restaurateur in Mississippi, from Deep South Precast. Joe Cloyd from Cloyd and Associates. I know Joe really well. Used to be aide de camp for Haley Barber, and he was head of the. He helped put on the National Governors Conference here in coastal Mississippi after Hurricane Katrina. And he's a very successful businessman here in Ocean Springs. And then Matt Lipscomb with Higginbotham Insurance. Those guys hit the ground running. They made it through the first round with a lot of celebrating, especially around the issue of matching fund, which is something we really wanted to see. And then they've already gone through round two. So, I mean, when you look at the matching funds that are available, it's got to give you a warm and fuzzy that everything we hoped would happen is happening.
Yeah. You talk about the board and their work. They had already worked tirelessly for months before I came on board, meeting almost weekly, trying to learn, what all was out there, what needed to be done, how to get this process going. And they did a lot of rote work, getting the foundation laid. And then, so looking at matching funds, that is one of the bragging rights here is that, the state can invest whatever amount, whether it's 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, into a program. But what we're doing is we're seeking projects that can make project proposals who already have you have to excuse me, that just, I'm sorry, I should have muted that thing.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
So the project, we're looking for project proposals that will bring in matching source funds, whether it is from the federal level, state level, local level, or private entities and in-kind contributions, so that $1 spent out of the state's budget becomes $2, becomes $3, $4. We have some project proposals that are bringing in a 900 to 100,000% match with their proposals. And, you have to consider things like that as being very positive for the state of Mississippi. That is bringing more money, more jobs, more opportunities for the state of Mississippi.
I mean, I love to see you see local governments being involved. Again, municipality, the NGOs like Wildlife Mississippi and Ducks Unlimited. The Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks has a great program. In fact, I talked about one of the programs. I was on the phone with on the show with Lake Pickle from Primos, and we talked about the need to do burning. We control burning, and Yes, I said that would be a great program for the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund, and then I get a note from somebody inside the department that says, "Yeah, we've got a great program, and here's a link to it." But it's already beginning to be, its tentacles, the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund's tentacles are beginning to reach into so many cool things that are helping and improve the outdoor enjoyment of Mississippians and those who come here to visit. It's really awesome to see. Hey, when we come back on the other side, we'll kind of get an update on a little bit about the first segment of expenditures that came out of the fund, and then we'll talk about where we are as it relates to the second tranche of money. And then we'll do a quick plea as well to the legislature to say, let's not take our foot off the gas. We got to keep moving on this. We'll see you after this break with Ricky Flynt. Welcome back to Super Talk Outdoors. Hey, before we come back to Ricky Flynt, just one quick note. We continue to watch the Senate Wildlife Committee, Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann, as we really focus on the public trust doctrine that all wildlife belong to the people, that came out of the House of Representatives and passed the House, I think, 117-0. I think if my memory is correct on that, but overwhelming bipartisan support. And we look to Chairman Neil Whaley and see how his leadership is going to be on that issue. And we also need to continue to have the conversation about the qualifications and the makeup of the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks Commission. We need them to have qualifications. And if the governor doesn't want to bring the number from 5 to 9, then let's just slap some good qualifications on them and move on. But this is a really important conversation we need to have. So we're going to be watching the Senate very closely. Okay, Ricky, coming back to you. The first year was a great start, wasn't it, my friend, of the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund?
It was a great start. We had 104 applications submitted in that first round, and that made it very tough for the board to be able to get through that many applications and give them all the attention that they needed to be able to rank those projects. But in the end, we funded 20 projects in the state with $10 million. I think it went very well, and the matching fund sources were about 3 to 1, a little bit over 3 to 1. And so for $10 million, we're getting $30 million of work in the state of Mississippi, and very well distributed across all regions of the state. And then here in this second round that we just finished the application period and actually awarded funding to those projects just February 14th. At our last board meeting, we had $15 million, which is about 14.7 in available funding for these projects. The board worked tirelessly again. We received 70 applications in this round, very competitive again, and awarded funding to 33 projects in this round. So just by adding $5 million, we've gone from 20 projects to 33 projects. Some of those fundings ranks from $2.2 million for one project down to $8,700 for several projects. And so when you look through the ranking process, it's not necessarily which project is the most expensive. Doesn't really have anything to do with it. It has to do with, does it meet the criteria and the nature of what this House bill, the Outdoor Stewardship Act, what is it doing? Is the project meeting the standards of the Outdoor Stewardship Act? And that is to fund wildlife and fisheries conservation projects and nature-based outdoor recreation projects. And if it's doing that, then it gets the eye of the board. And then you start looking at what kind of funding is available to it outside to be brought in to contribute to these projects. Where is it located in the state? How many people are going to be affected? A project that is in a very small town that only gets a certain amount of visitorship is not going to get the attention or as high a ranking in the criteria for a project that may be regional reaching or even statewide reaching. We have a number of project proposals in the first round as well as in the application round in October. statewide implications, that if that funding goes through, it's going to affect habitats and projects all over the state, not just in one area. And so, again, very proud to be a part of a project that is painting a much wider swath across the state of Mississippi. It's affecting a lot of communities.
Hey, listen, one of the things I love about it is the trustees are focused on, again, small or large, there's not a real focus that we've got to go in one direction or the other, but a small project in a particular community might mean the world to that community, might open that community up to outdoor recreational opportunities that are very significant. Or there could be a really gigantic program that involves the entire state. I think that and again, we're still waiting to see what the 33 projects encompass this time, but more specifically, this notion that we're going to try to create some diversity among the projects. We're going to have a good mix between governmental and non-governmental and private and publicly owned and small and large. There's a good focus on making sure there's a little bit of everything, isn't there?
Yes. And if I could do anything to our listeners, if you are a part of a state agency, a municipality, a non-government organization, and you've got some ideas, let me stress, come up with projects. Look at our scoring criteria on our website and see where we're trying to lead you, and meet those criteria. If it's a project, it may be a playground, it may be a walking trail in your community, but is there something you can do to a streamside zone, to an open space, these types of things that brings a lot more into the game?
This is Ricky Flynt on the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund. Thank you for joining, my friend. And as I end every show, stay safe when you're in the outdoors. Stay tuned next week. We have more interesting stuff coming next week. We'll see you then.
Thanks.